Currently, he is the pastor of the First Baptist Church of the city of Trenton. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning, Reverend James Coston.
You all are a good crowd. Usually on Sundays, I get applause, but only after I preach, and then only after if it's a good sermon or not. I thank Ms. Lakin for that nice introduction. And it's my great honor and privilege to stand before you and the inductees this morning and serve as your keynote speaker for the National Junior Honor Society Induction Ceremony of the General Gershom Mott chapter. I thank you and the principal and the National Junior Honor Society sponsor, Mrs. Phillips, for the invitation. And I'm thankful that the heat let up, that we were able to gather together today without it being so hot. I know none of you came specifically to hear me talk, and that's okay. I talk a lot. I preach every Sunday. I speak at civic and neighborhood groups. I pontificate at city council. All those occasions to gab and run my mouth are good, and I use them. I have a need to, I guess I need to talk. But this opportunity is special because you all are special, and the inductees are special, individually and as a whole, as shining lights of the future, but also as a beacon of hope to Trenton. I'm Jim Coston, pastor of First Baptist Church, located on Bridge and Center Streets. I'm the councilman for the South Ward of Trenton. I'm husband to Julie, father to Justin, Chloe, and Samantha. I live in Trenton, just down Center Street from here. I love Trenton. I take pride in Trenton. Trenton's past as one of the building cities of this nation. Trenton's present as an example of diversity within an urban community. And Trenton's future, which is its young people, its children, its youth, as you all are. And I take pride in your achievement and what we celebrate for you today. But I want to ask you, how do you feel about yourself? Do you take pride in yourself, in what you've accomplished? Do you take pride in your studies, in who you are? Do you realize that you matter, that you're important, that you mean something, each one of you? Do you realize that as shining lights of the future, you can do anything, anything? You have the skills, you have the capacity, you can choose your destiny. But if you remember nothing else that I say today, I want you to remember this one thing, that your future is up to you. It's your choice. It's your decision, what you make with your life, what you become. I want to share two true stories with you. Both these are true. I'm a preacher. It would have to be true, right? The first one involves a rather common occurrence that I'm sure none of us are strangers to. There are some boys who stand on the corner near my house, selling and dealing death and despair. You all have seen this. They're on the corner all the time. They don't go anywhere else. They're on that corner. They don't take trips. They don't have their own houses. They live with their mothers or grandparents or boyfriends and girlfriends, and that's fine to live with family unless you're a grown-up. They don't go places. They don't meet new people. They don't enjoy life. They just stand on the corner all day and all night. If it's raining or if it's sunny out, if it's snowing or if it's hot, they are on that corner. Those corner boys made a choice. They decided they did not want the finer things in life. They did not want to be challenged to excel. They didn't want a future. They just wanted to stand on the corner. Now, the second story involves a young man born and raised in Trenton. Lived on 2nd Street. He walked out his front door. He had the New Jersey State Penitentiary staring him right in the face. It was right across the street from his house. He was raised with 3 siblings by a single parent, his mother. They weren't rich. They weren't well off. They didn't have any more money or resources than you and I do. This young man went to Mott School. He then went to Trenton Central High School, graduated in 2003. A year ago, this young man who walked the same streets that you walk, played in the same parks that you play in, was faced with the same temptations and decisions and choices that you face. A year ago, this young man graduated from Harvard University and was honored as one of their top students. Yeah, a kid from Trenton, a kid from the Trenton school system went to Harvard and excelled. And he's not done. He just finished the first year of teaching high school in Mississippi as part of a very competitive master's program at the University of Mississippi. One of my goals in life is when he's finished with his graduate degrees is to bring him back to Trenton. All that to say that this young man who excelled and achieved and made the right choices, this young man will enjoy the finer things in life. This young man will have his own house. He will have a job that pays well. He'll have a family. And if I'm lucky, one day I'll get to work for him. Now, those are two choices. Two choices that every student in here faces. You can choose either path. You may go forward, you can study, you can achieve, you can succeed, you can rise up to face those challenges. Or you can spend your life on the corner. Now, I'm a Baptist preacher, and we tend to have a little bit of give and take when I preach. So I'm going to need some help with this last part. You can choose to follow that path of that young man to success and achievement, or you can spend your life, this is where you get to say, on the corner. Let's practice that. Or you can spend your life, there we go. All right, we'll get warmed up. We'll get it going. When I left this morning, those knuckleheads were, when I drive home after I finish here, they'll still be. After lunch, where do you think they'll be? After dinner, you can find them. When I go to the shore later this summer for a couple of days with my family, they'll still be stuck in the hot sun. When I take my family to Sesame Place, those knuckleheads are stuck. When we go out to dinner, they are. When we go to bed in our own house, they remain on the corner. Now, I've seen that corner. It's not that much. Why would anyone want to remain stuck, glued, fixed to a corner for all their lives when there's a world out there to enjoy and to experience and to make your own? Now, in 1986, I was inducted into the National Honor Society at Columbia Central High School in Columbia, Tennessee, where I grew up. I made a choice. That Trentonian who graduated Harvard last year made a choice. And those poor saps on the corner made a choice. I give each of you credit. I give all of you students credit. Those of you entering the National Junior Honor Society have made a choice. You've set goals for yourselves. You've met those goals, and no doubt you have goals to go further. That's the same for all of you. One of many that you'll need to make good choices to continue on that road to scholarship and leadership, that road to service, character, and citizenship. You've started down the right path. But this isn't the end of the journey, is it? You're not stopping here. This should not be the high point of your lives. Where do you want to end up? Where do you want to go? You can say, this is give and take. We're talking. Really, I want to know where you want to go. What are your goals in life? Where do you want to end up? Your teachers, your parents, your grandparents, your family, they want to know too. You got to name it to claim it. You got to verbalize and say your goal so then you can achieve it. Because if you're planning to end up standing on the corner, you can achieve that goal. That's easy to do. But all your other dreams will die forever the minute you start standing on that corner. You'll be fastened onto that corner for all of your days, unless you get taken to someplace worse. But if you want something more than that same old corner, if you want to be a doctor, maybe you want to be a lawyer, maybe you want to be a teacher or a preacher or a council person, you can do better than a council person. Set your sights higher. Or even President of the United States. That's within your grasp. You can achieve that. Make that choice to go and get your dream. There are a lot of folks here who care about you and want you to succeed, family members, your teachers, staff, other folks in the community. But you have to want that success for yourself. You have to decide, I'm going to make that mine. So make that choice. Go and get your dream. God bless you and your families.